Like you said before the game, that the way you keep the faith is continuing to preach hard work every single day, and that eventually it adds up and it pays off. Is this kind of a testament to you guys keeping the faith and playing well?
It really is. I think we had a really good practice the other day, and pretty intense for this time of the year. And that has to be our signature, is that we have to come to work. And I always tell them I don't know what results that's going to lead to, wins and losses wise. But you can look yourself in the mirror. You can appreciate what you do for a living, and your teammates appreciate you when you come to work.
Jacque, did you see Aaron roll his ankle, and is that up to him whether he wants to stay or come to the bench? Because he looks like he just kind of walked it off and went back in.
Yeah, so I let him go through the play right after that. So then we had a transition. Then we came down. We had a stop ball on our end, and so I took a look just to see. Had our trainer look at him the one trip down the floor, and then we subbed him out. Got a chance for him to come over to the bench and the trainer to look at him again. And so a lot of times it's kind of training staff, what the player says, and then what I see also.
But isn't he one of those guys that you're going to have to get the jaws of life, basically, to get him out of the game?
Probably so, but we got him out, though. And so we checked on him, and it's always my job to make sure guys are out there playing, in a healthy state.
Jacque, before the game, you noted that Tobias will be facing some of the toughest players in the league on the wing, and tonight he faced one of the most explosive athletic guys at that position. How did he fare against Josh Smith, and what are you seeing from Tobias lately?
I think he's been very committed to the defensive end of the floor. I think you saw that tonight. His ability to offer resistance to Josh on the post, and then trusting his teammates would give him help. So overall, he's been very committed to the defensive end of the floor.
Recently, you guys had games where you have the lead, the other team goes on a run, and you guys lose the lead, end up with a loss. This game, that did not happen. Is that a result from playing a full 48 minutes and being focused for 48 minutes?
I think it was a challenge for our guys. We go in 7 at the half, and I think our guys realized on the way out that there was going to be a chance for this team Detroit to either crawl back into the game or for us to extend the lead. And that comes from just being in games and experiencing, and sometimes experiencing them on the losing end and understanding what that feels like. So I think coming out of halftime, we had a really good approach.
Coach, this is Aaron's 5th straight game with over 20 points. Just over these past couple games, what have you seen from him that he's been able to do right, having such great shooting nights, only missed 2 shots from the floor tonight? And do you think he should warrant some all-star consideration?
I think overall what you see from Aaron is, I don't think you can pick too many spots throughout the course of the game where he's rushing and pressing to make shots and take shots. I think he's getting within the flow of the offense. He's being very efficient, whether those are in transition, whether in our set offense. So I think he's really not pressing. I think that feels good to him. That makes him efficient. That gives him a little bit of comfort level. And his teammates know he's been playing extremely well. The all-star stuff I don't touch. Will I talk to other coaches and say how great he's been for us and how impressive he's been for us? Yes. But I won't be making any banners, no.
Jacque, Victor, the last few days, weeks, whatever, it seems like he's been staying after, working on coming off a screen and hitting that pull-up shot, or coming off and attacking. Is that an area where you've tried to get him to improve?
Well, a little bit of everything, John. I think you're trying to introduce him and get him to get better in a lot of different areas. And part of that shot recognition is how the defense is going to play. Tonight in pick and roll situation, you had a great segment for us where he dominated the basketball and controlled the tempo of the game, whether it was getting to the rim, whether it was passing the basketball, which he was very efficient at tonight. So those are areas that he'll continue to grow at. But he's a guy that continuously stays after us and works on his game.
You always talk about guys staying ready. The guys are coming off the bench. Ronnie Price comes in today, takes 4 shots, makes 3 of those shots. has 7 points, 2 steals in 4.5 minutes. Can you just talk about how he is an example for some of those guys that are coming off the bench that are young?
I think he's a true example of what your approach should be like every day. Whether or not he's the first one in the weight room, whether he's doing every stretch the way our strength and conditioning coach wants him to do it. He is an example not only for our young guys, but for our old guys of how you carry yourself. And I'm really, I love having him on the team. I really do. I love him being in our locker room.
In the second quarter tonight, it seemed like Victor was trying to kind of get out and push the ball a little bit in transition and semi-transition. How important is it for you to have somebody who pushes the pace and goes and gets those easy baskets?
That's huge. We always talk about ourselves sprinting back and trying to get our defenses set so they can play against our set defense. So conversely, if we get a chance to get the ball up the floor and use our wings a little bit like we did tonight, putting pressure on their defense, I think is to our advantage, and we love that he's capable of doing that.
Jacque, is the plan still to work Victor at both spots, and will you, or at what point do you guys decide what he is?
Brian, I think we're a ways away from that. Tonight, again, he plays both positions. I think the trend, as you've seen me do, is more now of giving him individual segments throughout the course of the game where he's handling the basketball with no secondary ball handling with him. And so I think that's kind of the next phase of his growth a little bit. And tonight, where he has the ability to guard a Rodney Stuckey, we don't want to lose the versatility and his ability to guard guys like that in the league.
And we were talking earlier about Josh Smith being an explosive player, but Greg Monroe and Andre Drummond are as well, and you guys were really able to contain them really well tonight. They didn't shoot particularly well from the floor. What would you guys go over and practice that allowed you to do that?
I think it really was a committed defense. We really stressed not losing the points in the paint battle, and I don't think we did, and I think we might out-rebound them at the same time, which is tough to do with that front line. So I think overall, the smalls talked about helping the bigs rebound and giving resistance to those big guys.
Coach, you guys took care of business pretty quickly tonight. Almost everybody got on the floor. The person who didn't was Andrew Nicholson. Was that a coaching decision, or was it injury or illness?
No injury at all. I decided to go with Max in the second half. I kind of spun those other bigs in the first half, and no need for me to put Drew in the last couple minutes. I wanted to give Solomon some time to get some work in, but Andrew's fine.
Jacque, you talked pregame about really trying to attack and how difficult the Detroit front line is to score on. But you guys scored 58 points in the paint. Was that just a matter of hitting shots, or were you doing something that drug one of them away from the basket? Or?
Well, I think, they are big, and so we tried to kind of combat that by going small. So we went small early, and I think that was a benefit for us. We put Tobias at the 4, we spread the floor a little bit, and we tried to get to the rim. Just because they're big, I don't think we want to stay away from the rim. And so I think that was a big segment for us, and always helping guys make shots is big.
Coach, Maurice got you a career-high 4 assists and a couple rebounds tonight. Is the path to him getting out of this offensive slump kind of doing some of the intangibles? And would you say that tonight was your most consistent 48 minutes of the season so far?
Besides the 27 points in the second quarter, I would have liked another 21-point quarter after the first one. But I think overall, 48 minutes, we were pretty locked in. We had a few possessions that we probably take back. And then Maurice, I think he has the ability to do multiple things on the floor, whether it's grabbing a rebound and pushing in transition. I think tonight, consecutively, he dropped off 2 passes to guys for shots. His length on the defensive end of the floor. It's all, total package of being a basketball player, not just the offensive end of the floor.
All right, thank you. 10:45 tomorrow.